this is the moment most people fear in negotiation. Not preparations, not relationship building, but death. The moment when numbers hit the table. Do you go first? Do you go aggressive? Do you stay reasonable? And once you start, how do you make concessions without losing value? Today, we break down the science and strategies behind opening and bargaining. By this stage, you build rapport, you identify issues, you understand leverage. Now, the real negotiation begins. Bargaining starts when someone makes the first real offer. From there, it becomes a sequence: offer, counter-offer, adjustment, concession, until finally you reach commitment. But here's the key. This stage is driven by tactics, and the right tactic depends on the situation. Should you open first? That's a popular rule. Never open first. It sounds simple, but it's often wrong. When you should open, you should have strong information about price, value, or mid-range. Opening gives you power, because the first number does something critical. It sets expectations. Humans are influenced by first numbers they see. This is called the anchor and adjustment effect. Once a number is introduced, people adjust from it, even if it's arbitrary. So when you open, you shape the entire negotiation range. When not to open, if you lack information, if your position is weak, let the other side go first and protect yourself from being anchored. Should you open aggressively or reasonably? This depends on the situation. In relationship-focused situations, start fair, even accommodating, because trust matters more than winning. In transactions, research is clear: open optimistically, high but justifiable. Optimistic versus outrageous. An optimistic offer the logic behind it. You can defend it. An outrageous one, no justification, and it damages credibility. Why optimistic openings work? Two psychological forces. First, contract effect. If you start high, your final number feels reasonable. Second, reciprocity. You concede, they feel pressure to concede. This creates movement. When optimism fails, then open aggressively if you lack leverage or the market doesn't expect bargaining. And in balanced relationships, be ambitious but grounded. The power of concessions. Here's a surprising insight. People don't just care about outcomes, they care about the process. Research shows people feel better when they receive concessions, even if they pay more. Why? Because concessions signal respect. They signal cooperation. They show willingness to move. The best strategies. Start high, then gradually concede, not start high and refuse, or start reasonable and stay fixed. Movement matters. How to make concessions strategically. In transactions, use classic bargaining. Open high, concede slowly. Make smaller and smaller moves. This signals you are nearing your limit. But here's the trick. You are signaling your target, not your true bottom line. If the other side resists, you may still move further, but only reluctantly. In conflict deals, now we move beyond haggling. This is called integrative bargaining, not dividing the pie, but expanding it. How it works? Trade issues. Give on what matters less to you. Gain on what matters more. The key rule. Big concessions on small issues. Small concessions on big issues. The golden formula. If you give us this, then we give you this. Never concede for free. Always link concessions. Package bargaining. Instead of negotiating one issue at a time, bundle everything. Propose full packages. This keeps flexibility and prevents deadlock. Balance concerns situations. Here, both relationship and outcome matter. So your strategy must evolve. What works best? High expectations, but respectful behavior. Slow reciprocal concessions. And most importantly, problem solving. In high trust situations, you may not even need traditional concessions. Instead, you co-create solutions. You brainstorm, you expand options. Some conflict is good. It drives creativity. It pushes both sides to find better solutions. The good guy, bad guy tactic. This is a classic manipulation. One person is friendly, the other is aggressive. You feel tension, then relieved, and you start trusting the good guy. What's happening? They are using contrast effect, reciprocity, emotional pressure. How to respond? Call it out. Directly ask. Who has authority to decide? Shift control back to structure, not emotion. Negotiation is not about talking. It's about positioning. The first offer shapes perception. Concessions shape movement. And strategy shapes outcomes. If you understand these dynamics, you don't just react, you lead the negotiation. If this gave you new insight, tell me in the comment section. Do you usually open first or wait? And what's harder for you? Making the first offer or making concessions? Your answers will guide the next session.